Let it
Wheels go
go.
round and round,
Let it
write it all
be.
down.
Let it
Sing
roll.
Yate Anoltko. Thank you all for being here this evening. Welcome to the Indigenous Ways Monthly Wisdom Circle. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge the ancestors of these lands, Okapoge Owinge, also known as Santa Fe, and all your relatives from where you come from as well. Thank you very much. Pardon me. This evening, we have a very special guest that is related to so many people, so many cultures, in so many worlds, in so many ways, just because of who this five-fingered one is. And his name is Montana Miller, hailing in from the Navajo Nation. Hello, Montana. Thank you for being with us.
Hello, my name's Montana. This is my sign name. It's just like M chopping a wood. I got my sign name from my aunt, Arletta. She gave it to me when I was out on the Navajo reservation. And I am 27 years old.
Yate. She pelakana na sana yinshle. Chinish ati gisnishle. Ati shak bashish chin. Oreshne. She Montana Miller yinshle. Tabahanishle. Ashihi bashish chin. Touching it she. Kiani dashanele. Akot ego. She tene haskinishle. She hogan satash continental divide New Mexico wolga. Hello, I am Montana Miller. I am from the water edge, the salt people, the red running into water, and the Tiring House clan. So, if we're related, hello, your family.
Yeah, thank you very much, Montana. And love your humor. And just to reiterate, very unique perspective to introducing yourself with Navajo humor. And then the proper introduction to yourself is just, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've never heard that before. So this is definitely really new. So thank you very much. So before we get started on the questions, tell us a little bit about yourself and then we'll go on from there.
Well, first and foremost, I am Rez. What does that mean? That means I didn't grow up with a lot of things. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I grew up in a trailer in the middle of the woods. So a lot of people say that's trailer park. I don't know what you call mine. But also I am first generation, like Wi-Fi, running water, paved roads. So I'm very blessed. But also when I was growing up, I grew up with everything, kind of alcoholism, a lot of things in my internal household. I lost my mom when I was very young, but that only made me stronger with my family.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Montana. And I always believe when we lose loved ones, they're still with us, not only running through our DNA and our blood. We still have a lot of their spirit in us, but we also have our protectors too. And that's the way I look at, for me, losing my grandmother and my father. So I feel like when times get tough, I lean into them and I just see the beauty and visualize them, and their essence is with me. So thank you for sharing that with us. So I understand that you are in the Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree with an emphasis in performing arts. What got you into that?
I guess when I really think about it, when I reflect, I act out my family a lot growing up. That was a form of communication. But when I really think about it, it's possible through one of my grandpas, and his name is Roger Willie. And he grew up where I grew up. And to see him in the film industry, it was possible. He was a good mentor, as in my my Che in Navajo, we say that. That's your grandpa. He chose to come back home, and a lot of my family members with a higher education degree or have found success, a lot of them come home, and that's how I'm able to talk to you in Navajo, talk to you Ares, and talk to you kind of educated. But I had good role models in my family, even though I lost my mom at a young age. That's why I said it grew me closer with my surrounding family members.
Yeah, so you're going to the Institute of American Indian Arts based in Santa Fe. How does it feel to be working in the arts, performing arts amongst other indigenous tribes and just that whole atmosphere to be around in terms of you could be studying at Harvard or you could be, somewhere else, but you chose to be at IAIA. What is that like for being in film and theater?
Perspective, diversity. It really enlightened me and humbled me. You know, I tease people. I say, Navajos are very racist. Usually because I look Bulagana, I look white. But I say a lot of people have a monolithic perception on life or upbringing. So coming to the school, I was culturally shocked to realize other people have perception on life, as in Turtle Island. That I didn't know about, to be honest. And when I went up to Alaska for the Alaskan Games, they had their own stories. I didn't know about that. Um, my significant other, my wife, she's Samoan. There's a lot of things I didn't know about in Samoan culture that differ from other Polynesian or also culturally are entwined. Same with the different Apaches, the different Pueblos. It was something I can never get at Harvard because I don't think people from Harvard would take time to learn Lakota, Dakota, Makota, Samoan, New Zealand, the Maori, Navajo, San Carlos Apache, Jiracara Apache, Zuni Pueblo, Laguna Pueblo, Acoma Pueblo, Taos Pueblo. Even the Pueblos aren't even named. All these things I didn't even know about. And I probably would have learned about George Washington at Harvard and some other westernized historical facts with a lot of good context. But coming to IAIA, I realized there is more to Western perception.
Interesting. So you're talking about all these different tribes and cultures that you're able to mix with and mingle with. Can you talk to us about your experience being introduced into the native deaf culture, traveling to Lukachukai and meeting um, your auntie, Arletta, that you just realize you have a deaf elder in Lukachukai, and now you have a whole new world as a relative to this culture. Can you talk about how that's opened up your eyes?
Yes, my auntie Arletta taught me to lead with love and humility. So, what does that mean? slowing down and thinking about other people besides yourself. And the deaf community really made me realize I was excluding them. Unknowingly, I was excluding them. And I know how it feels to be excluded, especially being Indigenous. And sometimes we don't realize we do that to people without knowing it. And the deaf community is one community that I know a lot of us do. We don't take the time to realize someone in the room might not be able to hear. So even something so small, it's easy at like my name, and you learn the alphabet. That's very huge for a lot of people in this world. And Arletta showed me that. And it made me slow down in a lot of things and really appreciate my ears, my listening, appreciate a lot of things. And I owe a lot to Arletta and the deaf community, especially for the teachings. And not only just Arletta, but James Wooden Legs, his sign, his Wooden Legs, because it was goatee. But, you know, you don't really think about it, but sign language was everywhere, as in Sacagawea. How did she communicate with different tribes, different linguistics? It was sign language. Plains Indian Sign Language, even Alaska, their games, their Olympic games have sign language. I never would have thought that until you take time to learn about that. And theirs is a whole body sign language to indicate that there's a well, that there's two seals that they got to kill. So what I learned was how to be humble, be more aware of everybody, not just the hearing people. So hopefully that helps.
Absolutely. And I know you've done some films, you've done some acting, you've been in some films, and one of them for sure is a full-on movie where you were a side character in it. Can you tell us what the difference is between um, filmmaking and theater? They're two very different, like there's live theater and then there's filmmaking. When you act, do you act different? Like if a director gives you a line, do you say it different the way you would in front of a lens or the way you do it on a stage? What's the difference between doing like the same line? Do you
The,
what's the techniques?
well, first and foremost, this is just for me, but theater is a lot harder. Film, you can cheat it. As in, like right now, if I was doing a film, I can say, "What was the line?" and they can cut that out. But if it's theater, I can't say, "What was the line?" because everybody right there can hear that, they can see that. So it's very raw and teamwork, a lot of teamwork when it comes to theater. Film, there's more singularity in it, depending on how you approach it. But theater, it's hard to be singular in it. It's a very dialogue, not a monologue. You have to be very cohesive. So if you want to push yourself and test your public speaking, your memorization, and you want to rush, theater. If you want a nice way into acting, I feel like film, because you can always stop the camera, coach the person, and work with it in between the lens.
That's a um, nice example of the comparison between live theater versus film acting, where you can cut and chop and give me one line at a time, whereas in a live play, you have to learn the whole script and then boom. act one, act two, act three. And if you forget your lines, you have a team that needs to probably jump in and start doing some live improv with you to get back on track of the story and not let the audience know that you missed a line or something like that. So interesting, very interesting. Um, okay, so the next thing I wanted to ask you about is what inspires your vision, your manifesting, your like filmmakers can do anything. Let's go into your filmmaking now. We're switching gears from your acting into your filmmaking. How do you get inspired for your stories, and what stories make you want to do it, and what is your style of filmmaking?
Improvisation and on the spot. I don't know if that makes sense, but my most current films, you can ask anyone that's probably been a part, it was on the spot. It was improvisation. There's no hard copy, there's no lines. Everything comes from my head. I'm I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot of trust, especially with the actors whenever I'm filming them. Uh, I know how I want it to be said, how it to be done. So like that's where it comes back to the difference in filmmaking and theater. I can say, I want you to say this. And just repeat me for those 5 lines, and I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. They'll say it and I'll say cut. Okay, let's redo it again. And these are people that have never acted before. And improvisation and what really motivates me is when I say that to people and they give me this look like, or like there's no faith in it. But I've been winning a lot of film awards. And I don't tell people because I want people to see if they believe in me or not. And I have an incredible talent to be res. And being res means, again, being an engineer without money. So I make my films through my cell phone in a sense because I don't have that much money to buy a red camera, but my film on my phones compete with people that have $10,000 film equipment, have a 10-man team, and I'm over here saying like, okay. And I asked my wife, "Can you climb this tree for me real quick?" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Just please, real quick, please, please, please." And then I'll have her get an aerial view of me and my cousin fighting. All these things because I'm res. That's the only way I can do it. My family didn't. I come from sheep herders. I come from people who don't have college education or high school. I come from people who are labeled dyslexic, but in Navajo, they're not dyslexic. They're very smart, they're intuitive. So I've learned how to work without having everything at hand. So being res was what makes me do it, and proving you can do it res.
So you use an iPhone for all of this. I see, I see. So what information with your improv and these stories that come out in your own res style creative way of making story, what do you hope to teach the film industry? What do you hope to teach the audience? And furthermore, who is your audience? Do you cater for the Navajos or for the world or for the military? Or, yeah, who's your audience, your target?
For everyone that doubts themselves, for everyone that thinks they can't learn their language, for everyone that thinks they're an outcast from their tribe, for even, not even like a native indigenous, but like any tribe they affiliate with. It could be Dungeons and Dragons, sports, but I go by the world's shittiest Indian to alleviate people from thinking they have to act a certain way. I'm a firm believer that there shouldn't be um I think I can do anything, like, I hate to say it like this, but I can do anything a white person can do. That's my power, and I try to and I really am honest with this. I'm gonna be transparent. I try to give that power to Native people and people of color, people with disabilities, that you're just as good as any white person with any money. You just gotta work twice as hard. Life's not fair, but it's a hell of a kick when you prove to them, no matter the obstacle, we're just as good as you guys. And that's really my drive, to be honest. Because in the military, a lot of people, I'm the first interaction of being Native American. The first interaction besides watching us on Dancing with Wolves. So I have to prove to the world Natives can be anything we want to be. Anyone with disabilities, anyone from a minority background can be just as powerful as any white person, just as motivational, as caring, as lovable. Anything white people think of themselves, we're just as capable.
Thank you for saying that. Um, thank you for saying that. That means a lot, because, well, for a lot of reasons. Um, but yeah, I like that you said we have to work just as much hard, twice as hard to get to where we need to get to prove ourselves and stuff like that. So that's really interesting for sure. But I noticed when I first met you and you came to be a part of our um, Indigenous Ways board meeting and help set up. And we had the board all sitting around in the circle in the conference room, and some of our meetings, board members were zooming in from the East Coast. You, at the drop of a hat, introduced yourself and you went right into comedy. And what was so interesting was you went into res comedy. So you are really speaking res humor. And then, furthermore, when we went to the Navajo reservation to Arletta's to do some work there on her home site, and some people showed up to sit around and have food and share stories at Arletta's house, you jumped right up and you went right into comedy. You went right into humor. And again, I want to emphasize you went into res humor. So you had everybody rolling and laughing, and we were just cracking up. And it felt like you didn't hold anything back, and you just were so improv, natural, and spontaneous. Maybe all those things mean the same thing. But does that run in your blood? I mean, is your family, was your grandpa funny? Was your grandma funny? I mean, where do you get that? That's a special, that's not everybody has that, like quite the way you have it. Where do you get that from?
My family, my friends. I don't know. I feel like everyone I ever interacted has a good sense of humor. I guess I've been blessed, but my I don't think I have ever really interacted with someone mad. I feel like even when they're not when they're mad at me, they still use like a comical way of putting it. But my family were very humorous. We tease each other a lot, and my friends are the same way. And that's just natives. If you look at my shirt, it says just stoic, but look at the face. I think I feel like what I have, all everyone has. You just gotta look at your life, look at your hardships, look at your family. I think everyone has their own comedic way of living their life, and comedy is very therapeutic. If you look at a lot of people, when things get real hard, they either cry or they laugh. It's one or the other. But you'll witness both, I think, in your lifetime. So I think comedy is in all of us. We just have to loosen up and not be so frightful if people don't laugh.
Oh boy, that's a good one. So as your career opens up, and I fully believe that as you put yourself out there um, to the world, whether it's film or live theater, whether you're in front of the screen or behind the screen, um, where do you plan to have your home base? Do you want to, once you graduate from IAIA in May, do you plan to stay in Albuquerque, or are you going to build a Hogan back on the res, or where do you want to make your base? Like where you fly out to Tokyo to make a film, or New York City and California, and where are you going to come back to?
Cisna Jenna, the Bensod, closely told the Four Sacred Mountains. Well, I said I'm in the wrong order. Sorry about that for our Navajo people. I'm dyslexic. Yeah, just kidding. But anyways, Navajos are told, traditional Navajos, I grew up with everything. Christianity, Mormon, NAC, all that was Catholicism, atheism, alcoholism. Yeah. But I grew up with all that. And I really leaned into traditionalism thanks to my family. Bounced back between Christianity, Mormonism, Catholic. I was being a little slut with those religions. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not a slut. They share the same Jesus. I was just kidding. Sorry. But anyways, so I'm traditional. So I'm going to do my best if my family allows me. Because like I said, I'm the world's shittiest Indian. I had bad hiccups in my lifetime. And remember, don't compare yourself to me. I'm the world's shittiest Indian. So if you think you're faster than me, you're only faster than the world's slowest Indian. If you think you're smarter than me, you're only smarter than the world's dumbest Indian. So don't use me. Anyways, so I want to live back at my family's house and have a house in Samoa and have one in Page, Arizona, and one in Albuquerque. 4 locations. And before anyone says that's expensive, my mindset is if a white person can have 4 houses, I can have 4 houses. But Navajo, when a baby is born the old way, they'll take the umbilical cord and the grandma will bury it at the house. So when the child grows up, they have a sense of where home is and a belonging or a yearning. And you know, it's a Balagana mindset, a white man mindset, to want to kick your children out at 18. My family, they tease us if you live off the res. They say, you don't even want to come back. Are you embarrassed? So it's more empowering for us, or the way I grew up, is to live with family. So, and my wife, she's the same way. And Samoans, it's all about family. So that's why I have multiple houses to make sure I can split it up evenly. But originally, as long as I can survive in the Four Sacred Mountains, where the Navajos, where our gods created that, I will be very happy and blessed. And as long as we got a place in Samoa too.
That sounds very ambitious and doable. So envision it and manifest it, get a plan going and make it happen, brother. That's
I'm
awesome.
not saying
Okay.
like Graceland. People think when I say houses, I remember I grew up in a trailer park, so not a trailer, so a trailer is fine for me.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Trailers are cool.
And Hogan built
Exactly.
my hands.
That's right. So switching gears now, there's a film festival happening on your campus. I know you're a big part of that. So can you tell us when that's happening, what is going to be featured there, and how excited are you about this? And how has the experience been to be working all angles of it? Like you're organizing it, you're a part of it, you're helping the catering of the food, and you're basically going to be wearing many hats during this event. So can you tell us about it to educate us about what's going on?
Yes. First and foremost, it really makes me appreciate all the elders growing up that did events. Because now I know how hard it is. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of work. But with that being said, when you asked me about Harvard, I'm glad I didn't go to Harvard. I went to IAIA because now I get to be a part of a community where the community gives back and wants to do a film festival. And who is doing that is the school and IndigenousWays. So they're allowing opportunity for the students and for the community to come together. But what I love about it is they're very much embodying the concept of two spirit for the Navajo perspective, not every Indian perspective, but Navajo, where the concept of creating. So what IIA and Indigenous Ways is doing in a two spirit mannerism is creating something new. And what that is highlighting the disability community, really emphasizing on the deaf. Also, the females, the LGBTQ plus, and the two spirit. I always want to add two spirit because that's always been here too. But these three emphasis are what's real, and the students four. Sorry, I'm dyslexic in Western math. These four emphasis are really driving this film festival, and you can't get that anywhere else because a lot of people are afraid to put indigenous, female, matrilineal, disability on the front line. But yet, this film festival is going to break waves and highlight those. And I encourage every one of you to come on down and watch. A lot of these films are going to open your eyes. There's one about Free Leonard Peltier. Before you get mad or happy, you got to show up first. Yeah. Second, there's a highlight of deaf movies. And I'm going to give you a secret. James Woodenleg is coming. What does that mean? A carrier of indigenous sign language, the plain Indian style. Fourth, there's lots of good food. I know how you natives are. Free food. Come on down. It starts Friday, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. There's going to be barbecue. Real good. Lakan. Auto Saturday. Yes, come. The next day. It's going to be all day, 9 a.m. towards 9 p.m. That's where we're giving our full attention. Just like a flea market. It's on Saturday. It's real sacred. So that Saturday, we're going to compete against all the flea markets. We want you to come to us, not them. So we're going to highlight indigenous films, student films, deaf films, female-led films, LGBTQ plus two spirits. Remember, two spirits film. And then on Sunday, the third day, because I couldn't count all the way up to four. Well, I just did, but we're doing it. So on the third day, come on down. It'll be the last showings. And we're going to have workshops. So if you want to see yourself on Dark Winds, The Cleaning Lady, even your own film, these workshops can help you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Montana. This is very, very, very exciting. So as you're talking about all these amazing films and unique perspectives that are going to be shown and educational for people, I saw one of your films called Arletta. Can you tell us about what led you to make the film about Arletta and her home site and her indigenous way of living as a traditional Dene deaf woman who mostly fends for herself on the reservation? What excited you about making that film?
It really wasn't me. I got to give my thanks to my elders. So, IndigenousWays, to their team, from Homer to Elena, everyone. And from IAIA, Sheila, Rosha, Sebastian, to make it possible for me to even get in that position, and also allowing Arletta, Arletta, for allowing me, my wife, to come into your home and just really coexist with you guys. I know it was very brief, but I realized there's more power in giving back to your community, and that's what you guys did. And Arletta gave me a lot. She fed me, she gave me teachings, she gave me perspective, and she gave me love. I want to give back to her. This film is my way of giving back to Arletta. It's a way for people to acknowledge that shit, Arletta is one badass woman, man. All I'm saying is this: all these non-natives, when they come to Navajo Nation, aren't you scared? There's skinwalkers. Aren't you scared? There's bears. Aren't it's like, how can I be scared when I got Arletta living out there like nothing? It's like she has no gun, she has no knife, she has a chihuahua and a turtle. Like perception, I'm like, why am I complaining? You know? And it's raw. Arletta has given me so much empowerment. Here's my thing. I'm taking 7 classes this year with internships. When you say that to people in the Western world, they say, wow, that's a lot. In my head, I'm like, shoot, Arletta is living out there fighting 10 skinwalkers and 3 bears and 32 res dogs. I got nothing to complain about. So then I want to share that with people. Just because you have it hard, just because you have life beating you down, don't talk about yourself in a negative way. I know that goes against me, world shitty Indian, but don't worry about me. This is about Arletta. But also, Arletta taught me, don't worry about your disabilities. It's only a disability if you think that way, and she doesn't think that way. My film highlights she's living her best life the way any one of you would. And that's what I'm capturing, is that Hojo. I'm capturing that beauty that Arletta has.
Beautifully said. I must concur with you. I have a very special place in my heart when I go back to the reservation and am able to visit with Arletta and other beautiful Navajo people, traditional, still living in the old ways, in a lot of ways, in many ways. And there's just a certain comfort in being there, the beauty of it. And your film shows that and exemplifies the $1 million view that is right outside Arletta's door. So definitely looking forward to seeing that film. So my next question to you is, are you able to tell us a joke in 1 minute?
Yes. This is a shared joke. It's from my uncle to everyone. So, I know some of you have heard this, but I got a minute to do it. It's my well versed one. So, here you go. There was a Lakota man. He heard about the Pope. If you guys don't know who the Pope is, he's a very religious man. He has connection with Jesus. But this native guy, the Lakota man, he goes, really? A white man can be that spiritual? I got to go see. So he went all the way to Italy. He got there in Indian time. He showed up 4 days early. The Pope came out with his sacred staff. He met eyes with the Lakota man. He said, and the Lakota man understood. Mm-mm. So he went back home, took his TV down. When he came back to the res, everybody on the res said, what did the Pope say? And the Lakota man said, the Pope told me, take your TV down and get the fuck out of here. That's misinterpretation. So that's my 1 minute joke.
That's a good one. Oh boy. Okay, I have one last question for you, and thank you so much, Montana. We absolutely adore you and your wife. What does "keh" mean to you? And "keh" means family.
In the Western philosophical term, treat thy neighbor like you would thy neighbor. Yeah. But that's what Keth means, basically. In essence, treat everyone the way you want to be treated, and that's treat them like you were family and treat them as they were family.
Thank you so much for your beautiful words tonight, Montana. You are awesome, and I am going to follow you for the rest of my life. And here's Elena. Yeah.
Right on. Thanks for that, Tash. And thank you so much, Montana, for that great medicine and just the essence of who you are, all that you represent. It's just such an honor for myself, Tash, in knowing you. So thank you for all that you do. And if this is your first time here, welcome. This is the time where we go into the commercial break. And then after this, we're going to invite everyone to come in. If you've got any comments or just saying hi to Montana, that is the time. So our next wisdom circle will be next month, the third Wednesday of each month. We're so jazzed because we've got the beautiful Julia Keefe, who will be blessing us, who's a native, world-known jazz musician. Uh, Went on tour with her, I think, last year, and her work is just extraordinary. So she's going to be blessing us, same time, same place, same channel. So we'd love for you to join us. And, if you know of some people who will need some Montana medicine, well, have a look by Friday because his video, what you're watching now, will be available in our virtual library, our video library, and you can maintain that or find that at IndigenousWays.org. There you'll see video library, and there's over 200 presenters in there as we've been hosting the virtual events, the Wisdom Circle, and the concert series since April 2020. And so we've got this incredible archive of amazing presenters, including Montana, who will be up there. He mentioned James Woodenlegs was one of the first people that we had who will also be at the film festival. Arletta, the film that Montana was talking about, she has this amazing video in there as well. So that's really awesome. Excuse me. Below you'll see blatting across the stage or across my chin, all our social media. So if you do social media, we'd love you to subscribe or like any of those pages. And then all of this wisdom circle that you're seeing is courtesy of the beautiful funding that we've been able to receive. Uh, One being the City of Santa Fe Arts and Culture. We also this year got sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts. We're not too sure where that's at, but we do want to give them a shout out because they have been very supportive of us over the last 8 years in doing what we're doing. And also the New Mexico Music uh, Commission. And also thank you to our board members. We've got Michelle Redmond, who is our vice president. Really grateful that you're here. And also to all of our individual donors like yourself that has made this platform possible. Montana was talking about the film festival that is happening. Here it is. If you go to our website, IndigenousWays.org, you'll see more of that. And we have a deaf panel that will be happening because we have 3 films that will be there, including James Woodenlegs. Arletta is the film that was done by the beautiful Montana that's already picked up an award for that. And also the Indigenous Ways documentary. And then we'll have a Q&A. So have a look at the schedules on the website. Really exciting time. If you don't live in Santa Fe, maybe it's a time for a visit. Anyway, so that's all going on there, and we're really grateful for that. Before I was saying, if you're able to donate, fantastic. We have PayPal. We also have uh, PayPal and Venmo and all of those good things. Or if you're just not an electronic person, which we fully understand, and you're able to, we have our snail mail address there, which is the PO box. Anyway, grateful for all of you being and blessing us. It's that wonderful time where we're going to invite all of you to come in, as well as Tash, if you're still out there, we'd love you to come back. And then we're just going to get you, if you want to, this is getting recorded. If you want to come in, please do. And as you're doing that, if you want to speak, you can either wave to Tash or call on you, or just put your hand up from the chat. Tash.
Hello. Hello. Yat Arletta. Good to see you, Arletta. Um, hello. Would you like to
Hi,
say anything?
hello.
Arletta, would you like to say anything to Montana this evening?
Amazing, amazing presentation. Nice to see you all show up on Zoom. Good presentation, Montana. Very interesting. Indigenous Ways. Thank you so much for having Montana visit me, film me, and the other work that Montana you're doing. Looking forward to seeing you in May.
Yes, and out of Montana, do you want to say something to Arletta?
Uh, yeah, Arletta, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you too. I haven't
Obviously,
forgotten you, Montana. Thank you so much, so very much.
I hope the outhouse is still staying up strong. And if anyone that is wondering what I'm talking about, you have to watch Arletta's movie. It's about
That's
a
good.
famous outhouse.
Oh,
And
it's good. It's still really good.
before I forget, I just want to, I'll wait till after. Anyone else? Sorry.
Okay, let's move on to James
Just
Wooden
before you
Legs.
move on,
Oh,
Tash, as Arletta was saying, I'll see you in May. Why was she saying that she will be at the film festival that weekend? She is also part of the panel, so we're really excited about that. Beautiful to see you, Arletta. Thank you. Tash.
right, let's move on to our brother, James Wooden Legs. Thank you for being with us, James. Hello. Do you want to say any words to Montana? Or do you want to talk about your film?
And James here, blessings, blessings, blessings to IAIA, blessings to Montana, blessings to Indigenous Ways, and blessings to the group of interpreters. And peace to all. And hopefully we can gather on May 22nd, and be there together. And Montana, looking forward to shaking your hands and your wife, your Samoan wife. I'm thrilled and excited to us getting together again and being in good company at those times.
Out of Montana.
Yeah. Thank you, James. My hand is already
All
shaking,
good.
waiting to meet you. So May 2nd has to get here quick. And
Yeah, no shaking. You're a good man. Your spirit is protected, and we will be able to be together soon.
yeah, James, thank you.
Nana, Michelle, would you like to say some words?
Yes. Hi, Montana.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. And just loving your energy and your essence and everything that you put into your just your presentation and the way you're just vigor for life and also embracing new things. And I was particularly impressed with how fast you learn sign language. I mean, I think the first time he came out here, my sister, to my place out here in Pecos, he was delivering wood with my sister. And then Tosh was telling him about, the sign language and going out to meet Arletta. And that was the first time they started making a plan to go out there and make this trip, to Lukachukai. And then as Tosh started showing Montana the ABCs, and then he started doing the ABCs and doing signs, and he was just like picking it up really quick. I mean, I was just like pretty impressed because, I could see that his mind was just like clicking. He was already like, that was something that was going to be part of his path. So I really commend you, Montana, for seeing this through and as part of your journey and your growth, the new growth that is coming into your life, on your tree of life that's coming up. And this is tree, right? Tree tree in sign language. Yeah, tree. Yeah, like it's growing up from the ground. And that's these new roots are taking fruit, and I'm really looking forward to the festival and seeing you and all of you, seeing your faces, and just really being able to share energy with you and break bread with you, and we'll just have a really good time. So looking forward to this. It's going to be good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So let's go to Jonathan Toya. Hey, Jonathan, what's up?
Hello, hi, my name is Jonathan. Montana Miller is my nephew, and I just want to say that I'm very proud and I am excited to be to be present at the Gallup Film Festival on the 2nd and the 3rd of May.
Out of Montana.
Yeah, that's a deadly uncle right there. Yeah, kidding. He's taken. I'm just kidding. But that's my Shaddai Jonathan, Cat Johnny, and the reason why he's saying that is because Arletta, her film, has been making waves. So my family is helping me, and they're gonna be in different film locations to represent Arletta and I, because we can't be in two places at once. So that's been a secret I wanted to tell Arletta, but her film has been manifesting on its own, and a lot of people around the world. Arletta's movie's been accepted in India, California, and IndigenousWays is going to be its debut premiere with Arletta. And my family's going to be in Gallup also to be there. But so Arletta, I guess you are our indigenous Black Widow. Just kidding. I don't know. But yeah. Before I forget, real quick, any of you Navajos or anyone that wants to help the Navajo community, the Net Club at UNM is trying to put up a Hogan. So if you just research, they're doing a survey, if you can help. And also NSS, Native Student Services, that's in Alaska with the Anchorage School. They just need some help and support. But I just want to bring those two up.
That's right. Thank you very much, Montana. This is Tasha's voice now. Arletta, James Wooden Legs, Elena. We have our filmmaker here tonight, Laura Cook. She's setting up the camera in the studio. We're doing some filming tonight. And Laura is from the deaf culture as well. And we're very grateful to all the support and all the different perspectives that come into IndigenousWays in multiple genres. And grateful. I'll want to say thank you for Elena, our deadly fierce executive director, who said, hey, let's do a film festival. How do we do that? I don't know. Let's figure it out. So Elena contacted Montana, and Montana said, let's do this. And here we go. We got a 3-day festival coming up. And thank you, Montana and IAIA, Sheila Rocha, everybody else on the team to get all of this going. And if everybody, Christine, would you like to say something before we call it a night?
Took me a minute to get the microphone on. Sorry. Thank you very much. I feel so thankful to be able to be part of the circles and listen and learn so much every month. Especially right now, there's just so much need to just continue reaching out to each other, listening to each other, learning about each other, and being together and building those positive connections every way that we can possibly do that. And this is just such an important way for me, not only to see my lovely friends on Zoom, but to meet all of these wonderful, wonderful people, and to learn something new every time. And Montana, I just very powerful the way you speak, and your humor, and the lessons and the messages you have to say, and all of it is very important. And really I'm really touched by your directness and your honesty, and it's very powerful. And I encourage you to just continue and talk your truth and share and teach people, because we all need to hear each other. We all may have different lives as we grow up as children. We're all human. We're all walking on this earth, and we all need to learn to share with each other and talk directly from our hearts. And your ability to do that is just very powerful. And I thank you very much for speaking tonight. It was good to see everyone.
Just so you know, Montana, our Ohio sisters have been very supportive of Indigenous Ways and have driven all the way out here to volunteer for our festivals and help us set up and do a bunch of work. So beautiful. Thank you, Christine and Donna. We love you and we miss you. And David Gomez, we see you're out there on the trail. Thank you for joining us tonight, David. Did you want to say anything, David, before we sign off? Ooh, look at that walk. That's a serious walk. All right. Well, I'm going to tell everybody to have a wonderful evening tonight. Spend time with people you love. Be in the power of prayer and love. And until next time, we love you. Yeah. Thank you, our interpreters, Chris and Mariah. Thank you, Arletta, James Woodenlegs, all of you here tonight. Take care, everybody. Much love, okay? Bye-bye.
Thank
So
you,
we'll
everyone.
see you at the film festival, or we'll see you wherever that is. Let's give a big shout out for the beautiful one and only Montana Miller.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your day. Thank you.
Take care. Go on it.
Let's hear your new song. Let it go. Let it be. Let it go. Let's hear your new song.